There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Twilight Highlight Zone. My name is Ben Hansen. I'm hosting this time around, and I'm joined with an old friend, Jeff Cork.
Why, hello there.
This feed lives, Cork.
I know. Hey, you know what we should do is like a horrible Twilight Zone style ironic twist.
And how would that go?
This is actually a new episode where we talk about Twilight Zone.
We have no new information about Twilight Zone to convey. Actually, that's incorrect. I just listened to an interview with Bill Mumy on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast, and Bill Mumy is the kid from It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Good Life.
It's a Good Life. Holy cow, it's been a while, Twilight Zone fans.
Yeah.
But he talked about working with Serling and how everyone was always in the best mood because the cast was constantly rotating on Twilight Zone naturally. That everybody would always be trying their damnedest the entire time. Also learned that Bill Mumy wrote that Fish Head song, the Dr. Demento Fish Head song, which everyone should check out and then sing incessantly. But we aren't here to talk about fish heads. We're here to talk about the successor to this podcast.
Yes.
Which you may already know about. I assume you do, but we wanted to make sure to blast all 291 of you subscribers of the Twilight Highlight Zone and let you know that Cork and I have not fully abandoned this feed. We both still have a deep love of Twilight Zone in our heart, but there is another.
There is another.
Cork, you want to take it away and explain what the hell we're doing?
Oh, you're going to make me do this. Okay,
really
so here's the deal. Ben Hansen happens to be a fan of a band called AFI.
Correct.
And I was not familiar with this band at all. So we thought it'd be fun to kind of join forces and go album by album into this band's discography. And I made a point of not doing any research.
He's so good at it.
It's the easiest thing, actually. And then listening to every album, and then we do that separately, and then have our little discussion afterwards. So I think that the conversation, even though it is about a band, which you may or may not even like,
that's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. I think it's a fun discussion, and we talk about all kinds of other stuff, too.
It's a lot about our childhoods. It's also just a good dissection, if I may call it good, about a band changing in general.
Yeah.
And kind of the pressures put on a band and record labels and all that kind of stuff. So if you liked us talking about black and white ghosts.
If you thought the best part about the Twilight Highlight Zone was not the Twilight Zone, and you're some kind of weirdo.
That's right.
And you could just pop the Twilight Zone part out and put a band AFI in there in its place. It's the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing. But there are some threads that we touched on in A Fire Inside Out, which is the name of this podcast, by the way. We probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah.
But the band AFI has a song called Midnight Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Davey Havok's face melts off, just like those paintings.
Exactly. That's the singer, by the way.
That's right. Very important.
Yes.
And then also, there's some Hitler imagery for fans of Hitler out there. The Twilight Highlight Zone verse. He is back indeed, but only in another podcast feed.
Yeah.
It's A Fire Inside Out. You can find it on Game Informer's website if you want to look there, but more importantly, through the iTunes feed.
Yeah.
Search A Fire Inside Out.
It's super fun. And you should migrate to that. And then we have plans for something else afterward.
I really think we locked down what the next TV show we're going to do.
Yes, the next one will be a TV show, so bear with us.
Yeah, Cork recently pitched this idea, and I have always wanted to watch all of this show. And it's not too long, so it'll be a fun little quick romp. So
yes,
hang in there if you absolutely hate the band AFI.
I think even if you absolutely hate the band AFI, it's okay.
To what?
To listen to our podcast.
You'll allow it?
You will allow it.
Okay, great. But that's it. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. So journey on over to the other podcast feed, and we'll see you there.
Bill Mumy.
That's right. Until then, Twilight Highlight, Twilight Highlight.